Finale. Your baby's bouncing.
Just put it. No, by the way.
I just feel there hasn't been as much. Never seen the real us.
Oh, your engagement, your coming, everything.
But yeah, no, we just come back from a little boating trip, which was quite a challenge because we're in a heat wave and and it's very hot. But I was saying to Guido, the reason I love you too is because, I mean, we're like cowering underneath a sheet on a boat, seasick, burning, like actually sizzling, and I was still laughing myself silly because of you two. No, honestly, but because you're so hilarious, and that's what I love about the Australians is they make the best of everything. And Guido's like, wow, they're quanto sono simpatici, like how funny
so
they are.
nice.
But it's not just funny, like you're also just like you just go with the flow, whatever happens. Brian's like, it's okay, I can just vomit over the side of the So, yeah, no, it was very good. But anyway, Brian's back in Italy. How does it feel? Yeah. do a regal move.
Sorry, back by popular demand.
Exactly.
I've already been noticed in Rome.
Exactly. Well, yeah, there was this beautiful girl who you should actually give a shout out to.
Well, we met this beautiful girl from Hamburg, and I think your name was Natalia or Natalie. And then this gorgeous girl came across us, and she was like, "No, you're here, really?" Like I was like, "Oh my god!"
And she just moved to Italy.
Yeah, just within the last fortnight.
She was so excited to see Brian because she'd been following my channel for a while and seen you in different situations. And then, well, the true hardcore Brian fans know you from when you were living in Trastevere with me. Then she was walking along Trastevere and she sees you and she was just...
She's like, I watched that Q&A and it was one of the reasons she decided to do it and just spark the bullet because of you. But she goes, I'm sure it must be somewhere here. And I'm like, yeah, literally just on a... terrazzo over there, and she said something to the effect of, I believe, energies will always collide, and you draw people together, and I'm like, well, veramente, it's just happened. It's like,
What was her name?
Natalie or Natalia? I'm sorry, I just can't remember.
Natalia.
Hopefully this isn't the best way to start in Italy if you arrive in this heat, but hopefully your time here gets better. Can you just have a look? Look at our plates and then Guido's. Sorry, I just have to leave because I have to go back and get another portion for Guido. What was your impression of Brian before he came, and what's your impression now?
I mean, this is awkward to do in front of him.
Yeah.
Without preparing.
Hopefully it was good.
Better than what I thought.
Probably better than what you thought. What did you think? No, but it was...
Saying it in a good way, like you created such an expectation, and I was like, okay,
It's impossible that
he
you can live up to that.
Yeah, exactly. And steady is really fun.
Yeah, and Gareth, I think as many people can probably understand, like you and I love each other deeply over what 14 years, 20? How?
14 years.
14 anni.
My favourite number.
14 years, and then but it's the first time we're meeting each other's partners, and then living with each other, and then going on a boat with each
We
other.
were worried about that.
No, it was quite worrying. And
Well,
then
it's very you're locked in. You have to
It's a
like
commitment.
each other 'cause-
exactly, and what pressure on you two because of how
The two of you just sitting there going, please get on.
No, how awkward for you? But you was speaking to my mother this morning. I was like, oh, I can't believe it. Like Gareth's just as hilarious as Brian, and he's so sweet. And no, it's so wonderful. It's
He's
such a
even
relief
more
when you
so.
find out that your best friend is with someone who's amazing, and then you can genuinely say, oh my gosh,
Ditto.
yeah.
Yeah, and we are.
You're
I'm so happy
nervous,
that I'm in good company.
Yeah.
But and
No, but truly, I was very nervous to meet
You
Rita
were?
because I was like,
What is a dickhead? What if he's a dickhead and you have to laugh and smile?
No, it was more.
Coglione.
It was.
it sounds better in Italian. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Vabbè, testa di cazzo.
Scusa, we learned a few words from our skipper. It's colourful.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, I mean it's quite the opposite. It was like I wasn't worried that you would be coglione, but
I was just worried that I was going to be. Because
I did give you a few little pointers.
You are his responsibility, so.
Exactly. He was like, now just be, a better version of you. No. I just said, well, I am who I am.
We should actually perhaps introduce him. Gareth is from South Africa,
Yeah.
representing South Africa. I know we have South African viewers.
Even though I don't have a South African accent.
Well, tell
Sorry.
them where you were born.
Yes.
Called Elizabeth. Or it's actually now called Mabecha. So
Oh, that's very nice, and he knows the new name.
it's the new name for the town that I was born, called Elizabeth.
Yeah.
And then I moved to Australia when I was 12. So the Australian accent is fun. Australia.
But you've been to Europe many times.
Yeah.
But it's the
But
first
this is
time.
the first time we've been overseas together.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Well, I mean, for Australian viewers, we did go to Tasmania. And then we got locked up.
It is over a little sea.
Yeah.
It's strange that we get on because Brian's from.
Well,
Why it's strange.
What?
Actually, to be honest, I don't
Call me
think it is.
strange.
As we've kind of figured out, we're very similar. So he's,
No, exactly.
he's chosen a best friend and
You-
a partner that are same.
No, I would say sometimes even more in common with you than with Brian. No. And then you guys seem to get on well with Guido, even though you've grown up in South Africa, you've grown up in Perth, and Guido in Florence, and Gareth, we were like dying on this ferry, like sweltering
I remember the
yesterday.
picture. It was beautiful.
We're all and Gareth's like, I wonder what it's like for people who aren't obsessed with food, and I wonder what they do. I wonder how they live, because all we could do, even in the heat, is like talk about what we're going to eat next. And I think that's perhaps why you guys got on so well with Guido.
It's a very good thing to have.
And it was
in common.
lovely that you introduced us to wild boar last night. It was
Oh,
just
yeah.
absolutely delicious. What do we call it?
Cinghiale.
Cinghiale.
How is it making you feel to be back in Italy? Because
Well, I guess it's obviously amazing to be back because it's been so long. But that also makes it a little bit sad because I was like, I've missed so much. I've missed your wedding, and I've just missed being here. I know everyone came up with their own little things to do during lockdown to reinvigorate themselves. I took up knitting and
gardening.
and gardening, that's right. And a lot of the inspiration came from watching you each week because I was like, now I've got our own house. We're going to have a little orto in the backyard.
Yeah.
And actually, yesterday we were talking about that. We were talking about the recipes that you've made. You're like, oh, that's on Kylie's recipe.
Yeah. Because Gareth's like, Brian's such a good cook. And I'm like, well, it's
That's
actually Kylie that's a good cook. And I
Well,
just
there can be a
learned from
recipe,
you.
but then there can be, you might not be able to do
No,
it.
it's lovely. I can't believe you watch it because I'm sure there are some friends who just sort of just try to be kind and say, oh yeah, how's your channel going? But you actually watch. And that's why I think also you really felt like you already knew Guido because you've been watching the episodes.
Well, like when I said to you, I was a bit nervous to meet him because you're
Because he seems so intimidating.
No, it's because he's so important to you, and also I'm important to you, and
Yeah.
like,
So I'd have to choose.
Yeah. No. Entrambi. My new favorite word, entrambi, because it's so hard to make a decision these days.
Yeah.
You're just like, I'll do both, or I'll take both.
With gelato flavors.
Mm-hmm.
With, do I have to choose between my
The first course is pappardelle al cinghiale.
exactly.
cheese.
We go into restaurants and Brian just says, entrambi, I'll take both of them. Yeah.
It's ready for the waste.
But actually, Gareth, your Italian's just amazing as well. No, but honestly, we were going.
Magari.
We've been feeding you a few words, but then you just remembered it.
Yeah.
But you speak
Ma
French.
che blocco.
You
Sì.
speak.
Un blocco.
Je parle un petit peu français. C'est très difficile pour moi.
But you know what's funny about that? Because he is in love with France and the French language, and then he met me.
And you were like,
And what's the word? I'm very convincente, is it?
Yeah.
Because-
Manipulative?
Yeah.
No.
Manipulative.
No.
But I'm like, I'm
That's a
so.
good way of saying it.
Yeah.
Convincente.
So, yeah, I think it's just lovely that you've embraced the Italophile within me, and now it's our love to come here.
Insieme. But
Sì.
don't get me wrong, like, I adore France.
Yeah.
I've always loved France. I've worked with a lot of French clients. I've never really worked with Italian clients.
And you always will.
I don't judge anyone. But, you know, the French is a little bit more uptight, whereas Italian's a little bit dolce far niente, just relaxed. And
So French are better to work with.
Yeah, but, no, I was going to say your business. We don't being an Italian obviously
No, I
likes to
agree with you,
criticize the
but-
French. So yeah,
No.
but I
it's
do.
just different.
But
It's
I
like
do
completely
think.
It's
I mean,
not about taking parts because first
Sides,
of all,
yeah.
you're not
Yeah.
sides. You're not French.
No.
You're not Italian. So
No.
we can hate each other, Italian and French, as we always.
and in any case, I mean,
In a good way.
my parents, well, for 10 years have been spending half the year in France and then half the year in Australia, and it's the same. It's a lot of the same values. I mean, in France and Italy, it's food, it's
family.
you know, it's
Beauty.
living in somewhere with history, with culture.
Correct.
So it's not like there's this binary kind
No.
of like either you're Team France or Team Italia.
But I've always been more drawn to it because I can speak more French.
Yeah.
You know, and I've struggled with Italian.
That's changing now. Now that we've taught you all these curse words from our skipper, who's
I speak fluent curse.
yeah, exactly.
Gutter. I speak gutter Italian.
But I love how you. This is to show how polite you are, because we're on the ferry and they were just repeating some of the words the skipper, who liked to be quite colourful, had been using in the past few days, and then Gareth like apologised to the Italians. He's like, "I'm so sorry. Like, we're just learning. We're learning some words." Yeah, exactly.
Pirata.
Yeah, exactly. But I think your Italian's lasted because, well, not only you watch my episodes, and I put on the subtitles often.
Which I highly recommend.
Yeah, I often put them on thinking of you because I know that you're quite advanced Italian, and so. But also, you listen to so much Italian music. You know,
Of course.
I think that helps, don't you?
Yeah, we love Mahmood. Shout out to Mahmood.
Yeah.
And you know, I was gonna say actually, like they're so important, your videos, because
Oh, you don't need to say that.
no, I do though. No, I do though, because even I go back
This
and
video
watch.
is sponsored by.
No, it tells you things that you don't think about, and you know,
But
and
also-
to be more colloquial as well. Like it's just simple phrase like "siamo in due." You just don't translate that into English when you're booking a table and things like
Yeah.
that. So it's crucial.
But also for us, I mean, living in, not that I ever want to mention the pandemic again, but, you know, we lived in the world's most locked down city. So to wake up every Saturday morning, because that's when it happens for us, and then have this window into La Dolce Vita and, you know, the joy that it brings to Brian and then me is just like really beautiful. Like it's this amazing moment on Saturday morning. We're like, oh, this is transporting. We're in Italy.
Okay.
Yes. You're gonna spoil this long. No,
I was ready to do it.
No, bye.
I was just going to say also if it's not France.
Yes, of course.
But I don't know. I was actually wondering because you guys live in Melbourne and you have access to such incredible food, and there are so many Italians, Greeks, I mean, everything. There's
Yeah.
every nationality doing really authentic food. You have access to quality mozzarella, all these things. So sometimes I even wonder, like, is the thrill still there? Like when you arrive, when you come to Italy, because I was just wondering, like even last night at the restaurant, I was thinking, yeah, but you guys eat so well in Melbourne. Perhaps it's not as exciting as it was like traveling back in the 90s. I don't know.
No, but still in Melbourne, that you get beautiful food, but it's still a little. I don't know this word, but it's a little convoluted. They still try to make it.
Australian.
Or try to put something into it
It's
that.
very advanced. But the nicest thing about going to Italian restaurants in Australia is that often,
Yeah.
if they're really old tagliers or they've been around for a really long time from original families that are generational, they do the same as what you guys do here, which is like really embrace the beautiful raw ingredients that are fresh.
Yeah.
You know, and we do have an amazing country that delivers.
Especially Tasmania, actually.
Yeah.
Tasmania is their food scene is so advanced, really, for Australia,
Really?
and they only ever really feature what's in season, what they can get right now.
Yeah.
One, they're an island, so I guess it makes economical sense.
Is the Pope a Catholic?
Well, you need to teach Gareth an equivalent of is the Pope Catholic, because strangely we worked out they don't say is the Pope Catholic. No, basta amore. Io sto bene. No, basta.
Mangia, amore, sciabolini non c'è.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah,
Non te, fagiolino deve mangiare.
when you arrive in Italy, there's this relaxation immediately because you have these everyday rebellions, like seeing cars parked back to front
Yeah.
and just roll up on the side of the street, or like, you know, sort of following road rules as a suggestion and all that sort of stuff, which
Or
Driving really
the
quickly.
velocità at which Guido drives.
But immediately there is this sort of relaxation because you have everyday rebellion, whereas in Australia we can't rebel. We have to follow the rules, which do keep us really safe and it's really wonderful. But immediately you're like, oh, there's less rules here. It's sort of more relaxed.
I remember just being over in Toronto, and Toronto has, like, similar to Melbourne, like, it's very multicultural, and I have a lot of Canadian viewers, so forgive me if this is not an adequate appraisal of Toronto, but I just think it is known for having, you know, excellent eating, excellent chefs, really talented chefs.
Full of Italians.
No, and it's got, and it's so
Half of the
multicultural.
National Italian team
I'm
is
pretty
playing for
sure.
Toronto.
I'm pretty sure their second language is French.
Yeah. But,
It's not with the Italians, it's like les Français.
Yeah, but they just bought 3 of the biggest players in Italy.
I didn't know.
Toronto, yeah. football
Really?
club.
I didn't know that.
Insigne, Bernardeschi, and another one I don't remember.
okay.
Sorry.
No, that's
Small.
okay.
So
No.
they make good football players.
Life is about more than sport now.
Yeah, but sport and food, that's pretty...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, what were you saying on the boat? You were saying, like, well, you need to eat well, you need to make love, you need to, what is it, have some good wine,
Sleep.
and sleep.
And then there's another thing I can't say.
What?
Oh.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
I don't know what that is.
We'll keep that for the patrons. We'll let you know in private. But what I was going to say about Toronto is that, and similar to Australia, there are some really talented chefs, young chefs, but I feel like in order to make their mark, they kind of need to distort the recipe, like the classics. And that's fine. And I remember, like, once I was judging the World Pasta Championships in Parma here, and all these chefs flew in from around the world, and they were all doing different things. But sometimes I'm a bit more classic, and I just think sometimes, or maybe it's just that I've lived here too long, and I'm just used to, they keep things really simple, and it's not sophisticated, and they're not doing anything strange like deciding, okay, we're going to put some turmeric in here and whatever, or like when I went to Toronto, there was this amazing pizza and it had everything, like roasted butternut squash and pine nuts and all this stuff. But then I was like, no, it's not too much. It was exciting, and when I go to Australia or Canada or something like that, I'm like, wow, this is amazing.
Yeah.
But then invariably, if I'm eating in Italy, I'm just getting margherita, which is just mozzarella, pomodoro, basilico. That's it.
Yeah.
And
Fresh pasta done
exactly.
in the morning.
No, it's not
And
one.
that's probably why you like Rossi Florentino in Melbourne that you were reminiscing about. Because
Yeah,
it is
yeah.
basic, you know, back to basics kind of.
But probably they don't want any, like, for a young chef, that you're not really going to put your mark on the culinary world if you just do the classic carbonara, no?
If you just do the pasta like grandmother did.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, our taste is more, for example, I mean, for work, like when with a lot of the stuff I was doing for journalism, I was eating in a lot of Michelin star restaurants, and I really don't like Michelin star restaurants. I don't enjoy it as much. I think because I'm so greedy. Yeah, I'm such a cheap date. I don't drink. I don't. No, but
I'm
I.
angry if you take her out for dinner. So
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
here I'm on your side a little bit in terms of the Italian-French thing, because the last time I came to Italy before the pandemic,
You're about to be mean to France.
Paul, but
yeah, it's not me.
but you know, I
doesn't take part.
I'd been in Sicily with you, eating amazing Italian food, and then I did a trip to France for a friend's birthday.
It also cost niente. Like the stuff you were eating in Sicilia was like
Yeah,
beautiful.
and
So-
you know, every restaurant in Paris and Champagne and all those kind of places, I was like, stop giving me the tomato foam, I just want the tomato now, you know, like everything is, and French cuisine's amazing, but at the same time, it made me miss just simple, you know, homegrown.
I suppose
beautiful
you
produce.
were with a group. I mean, I gave you a peasant style holiday. I gave you a peasant style holiday, and then you went to this group of other great, fun girls who are on a much bigger budget than me. And I think, no, because I think we should defend, like, you know, you go to Provence and there's really rustic and you just
Also,
classic.
It was from 40th, so it was like very special.
Yeah.
All the things were very
Everything
special.
was celebrated.
But it is challenging.
I'm with you
That's
guys.
great.
I'm defending France because I'm like, no, because France has really just classic, simple recipes as well that are, you know, the same.
It's true. It's true.
It is
But-
harder to
But when
Yeah.
you're at a birthday party to another birthday party,
Yeah.
because this friend likes.
And you're like, pasta with the foam.
I had a question.
The
Sorry.
immune.
How do you like French cuisine if you don't like garlic?
Oh,
Ah,
true.
And I'm just going to correct you. I don't not like garlic. It doesn't like me.
Because I remember having been to super restaurants, but
Yeah,
there's
it's always
always
very
lots of garlic.
But
Really
you
lots
can
of
kind of
garlic.
avoid it. I mean, if you're eating snails, that's a death for me because it's just...
Yeah, the
a ton of
snails
garlic.
are like, I always got the snails, I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, wow.
Everything else
delicious.
is sort of more subtle.
Someone was asking, oh, what's happening with Brian's work?
Oh man, I'm unemployed. Yay!
La dolce fa niente.
Yeah, see, no, I'm unemployed now, so
No, you're between jobs.
between jobs. But
Yes.
I kind of
Proudly
like.
unemployed.
It's basically the pandemic kind of stopped a career for me, which was the flying career
Yeah.
in aviation, and I was so fortunate to fall into a government job, working in COVID response and quarantine. So and earning quite nice money.
Yeah.
So it was, and I also felt like I was doing something productive
To help. Yeah.
to help, and also my skills were quite transferable. But at
Yeah.
the same time, now I'm starting to get to this point of what is next.
Sure.
Oh God, how am I going to pay the mortgage and
Yeah.
you know all that. But it's also so exciting because who knows what's going to come around the corner, and you know your eyes are wide open now, and also I have the luxury of not having to stress financially.
Insieme.
We will look after each other, and
Yeah,
you
but
know.
also you saved up money just.
Yeah, of course, I wasn't careless.
He's not like just totally living off Gareth. You know?
No, I can pay my way.
No.
You can edit everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, because so I can...
Go nuts. Lasciati andare, amore.
Would you like some more wine?
Because actually, you are the toy boy.
And that's another great thing. I'm always going to be the older of us two,
See.
but I'll never look it. Joke on me. Joke on me.
Every single job you've had, you just excel because people respond to you. Management love you. You always are in roles of leadership because you somehow manage to be professional but diplomatic, and and everything. And so I just think sometimes when you have this forced break, it's quite exciting because you're.
Brian has the most incredible work ethic, and when in COVID, I mean, it could have really broken him losing the thing that he loves. And immediately, like a week in, he was like, right, I'm going to go and do something. And I mean, in COVID, we were so unbelievably locked down that you just couldn't go anywhere. The only jobs were going were, in a supermarket, and he applied for that.
Yeah.
I didn't get the job.
That's it was Coles, no?
Coles,
so
yeah.
we have this big supermarket in Australia, and yeah, at a certain point when you thought that you were going to.
I think everyone was just scared. They were like, "What does this mean?" And the media. No,
also,
yes.
Yes. But what I wanted to say about your work ethic, that I'll shut up, is that honourably, he just picked up a mop and bucket and started cleaning work.
Oh, I did.
What do you mean?
Well, a friend of mine has a building company, and I opened my own ABN, or is that how you say it?
Yeah.
I began a business just saying.
Identification business number.
Yeah, ABN is like the Australian business number, and I'm like, I can just be a cleaner. So I'm lucky enough to have a friend that has his own business, and he said, I'd much prefer to give you the money than, outsource to other cleaning companies. And
but it's so honourable. I mean, the work was really backbreaking.
Oh, it was horrible.
I was sort of like, I mean, at that stage, we didn't know what was going to happen in my sort of work world, but he just went out and did it because it made him.
I bought the boots, the workman boots, which he found quite exciting. Fa impazzire, is it?
Did you have?
It's all about the outfit. With the right outfit, you can find. The Australian government did take care of people.
100%. So this was before
Very
that
well.
happened. We were sort of freaking out.
Yeah.
But then as soon as the government came in, it was like the support was unbelievable.
Right.
I mean, I don't know what it compares to.
Yeah, we were so lucky. We just went to Indonesia and speaking to, drivers and cleaners and people that were working in,
the
hospitality industry. They were receiving almost nothing to look after whole families, so
we were very
like to hear these kind of stories, you're just like, wow, yes, it was hard. I lost a career, but I gained another one, and I was earning money that I hadn't made before, and working hard and being scared and all the rest of it. But you have to put it in perspective of what other places were dealing with. Because
you were dealing with the COVID hotels where people had to come in and they had the forced isolation.
He was the forced.
Yeah.
You were the forced. I bet you did it with a smile. It's like, don't leave your room.
At that time, no one knew what would happen in terms of if you got really unwell and people were dying.
Yeah.
And Australia is an island, so it had the luxury of saying the borders are closed. If you're going to come in, this is the prerequisite we require of you.
Yeah.
So people
then you can't leave.
Yeah, no. So
there's no leaving.
no. So you came in willingly knowing this, and but you have people that don't believe the virus existed, and people that
are screaming at me.
Let's half
But then there's also the potential. Well, there's different ideas and thinking potentially about maybe doing a little store. Sourcing things in Italy and doing a little store in Melbourne. And
so what do you guys think?
Yeah.
Would you come to a store where it's in the middle of Australia where you can't...
Well, not right in the middle.
Not right in the middle. We'll never put ourselves in that situation again, will we?
After the burning Tuscan inferno, we're not going anywhere near the middle of Australia.
It's scary to start a small business, so I'd love to hear what people think about.
Well, you even have a name, no?
Yeah, Il Tavolino. So it basically means the little table.
Yeah.
And I just love the word. And I also think it can be transferable if you want to branch out into doing many things, like selling things that you'd put on the table, eating things off the table, drinking things off the table.
The table.
The table. So...
Or Guido was saying that, I mean, you'd already spoken about the idea of also a delicatessen and stocking really high quality ingredients, but I just wonder about the logistics.
And wine.
And wines, I see.
And
So
wines.
yeah.
The most important things.
Another one.
Which
I put another one in the freezer. Yeah.
I'm going.
But I think it's also difficult to. I mean, Gareth, you have an amazingly successful
No.
business. No, you do. You do. And I think that as like you and I who have worked for ourselves, we're also saying you'll be amazing. And I can't imagine the me of like 20 years ago dreaming of Italy and just studying in Australia or working, saving money in Australia would love an experiential kind of option like that where I just go in and I'm surrounded by something that's chosen by an Italophile. However, as we know, working for ourselves, it is so lovely when you have an employer and you just and you clock off and you're like, wow, Saturday, Sunday is your, or whatever days you take off is your time, and that's it. And for us, it's like it's never off. No.
Our dog is called Piccolina, and
She only speaks Italian.
She only speaks Italian, and when we first got her in lockdown, and I was working, and Brian was in between, well, you know, he'd just been laid off.
Yeah.
Which makes me think of the people looking after our dog right now. Is she just running amok because she can't speak English?
My parents- But yeah, I mean, we have an orto, we go to the Mediterranean wholesaler and we buy all of our beautiful olio. I get into trouble if I go to the supermarket and buy Spanish. I mean, no offense to the Spaniards, I mean, it's...
Let's offend everyone. Greeks, everyone.
I also like completely about
But no, I think that a lot of people would respond well to the things you choose because you're so sensitive to textures and materials, and like you got me, I mean, they both got me these beautiful maternity pajamas in linen that are just so beautiful. They're so beautiful. I wore them out to dinner. And, but I think that, I mean, even though obviously you guys are, let's say,
I don't know the word where you're going with this.
yeah, I know. Hang on. well, you guys have excellent taste, and it's a bit of a cliche to say that. Okay, well, you love to shop, and you love to have things look beautiful in a home. But even
Pinocchio.
yes, yeah, trying to. But and then me as well.
I mean, it's obvious.
But I think that's what I love about Italy is that even Guido, who couldn't be more masculine, blah, 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 all the rest of it. But you have this deep love of quality. Guido's always saying there's no point in buying. He said, no, let's buy, we don't buy polyester, buy cotton, and don't buy, even with anything around the house because it lasts.
If you go in Italy, you are the exception if you don't like beauty because it's not a matter.
You're ostracized.
Yeah, obviously there are persons that don't have taste.
Yeah.
Of course, you see it.
If you grow up in a certain situation, you see beautiful things and you relate to them. So.
Yeah.
Guido also likes to buy things and then wear the crap out. so
That's very, another way of using something without throwing it away.
Yeah, exactly. I think you're very resourceful.
Yeah, my pants were quite consumed.
Quite consumed.
yeah.
No, we can fix them. We can.
Yeah, good.
Not
Brian.
I can't because I can't sew.
I can. Yeah, but I think that you're always saying to me, like, even if we buy furniture or whatever, you're saying, no, let's buy the quality stone or because you've seen with your parents and your grandparents that that's the stuff that lasts.
Totally.
So it's almost like it's more economical if you're thinking long term. Yeah, exactly.
Spendono bene, chi spende una volta sola.
Yeah.
So you spend well if you spend once.
Yeah.
If you buy a crap thing.
But also you can't buy crap for a home like this. Like it wouldn't work. It wouldn't fit.
I don't know, but
bit,
there's lots of things.
See? No, bye.
Many things that are for the house or for buildings and stuff that is more about fashion rather than being solid. And all these things are here because someone, when they built them, they didn't think, oh, I will sell it in 20 years again. This is just made to last. And many things now are not made to last. That's it.
Also, this mentality of wherever you are, this isn't everyone, but it's certainly Guido, is never thinking, oh, we would sell or we would move, or this will be our house for the next 5-10 years, like this is it forever. And that's such a different mentality, because I think in somewhere like Australia, we're very nomadic, and even if you'll change suburban Melbourne, you'll say, okay, we'll flip this house and we'll live here for a bit, and then, which is not bad. I mean, it also means you get to jump around and experience different places, or as you were saying, you move to a different suburb and you feel like you're living in a different city.
We're not our forever home. We're not
It is.
moving.
In Australia even, or in the US and places like that, it is very like, this is my 5-year plan, this is my 10-year plan, or
that's true.
or eventually you get to that part of your life where you're in your 60s or 70s and you're like, oh, okay, now I'm going to downsize and this is now my new 5-year plan. Whereas I think that's so beautiful about this country, is that if you're fortunate enough to be able to choose, this is the rest of my life now, and I'm just going to add to it in my own little ways and bring little people into it and things like that, and then they're going to become you, and they're going to become your ancestors. It's quite lovely.
If you really want to do beautiful things,
Yeah.
they can't last 5 years. Like, if you want, otherwise it's like, I don't want to offend anyone, but if you do something for 5 years, it's done to last 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the church that's been done 90 years ago, and probably if no earthquake comes or whatever, it will last for another 300 years. So the person that built the church wasn't thinking, okay, this is my 10-year religious thing to do. He said, okay, I'll do it for last. So it lasts forever.
Well, also, we were shopping for homes and walking in and out of homes, many homes that had been renovated, and you're like, oh, I don't really like the colour of that tile, that doesn't bring me joy, or this doesn't make me feel so good, this is dark, or this is too bright, or whatever it was, and you're like, what such a shame someone's renovated a home in order to sell it, but the potential buyer wants to rip it all out and start again. It's rare you walk into a home in Australia and go, oh, this is exactly what I want, and I wouldn't change a thing. And I think it's just so wasteful if you were to buy something that was sparkling brand new and you'd want to change everything.
Although that said, like you were saying, we know some people who they love the whole minimalist, very modern, very just, they don't want the clutter. They would look at this and say, oh gosh, it's so dark, all the antique furniture and everything, which is fine too. I mean, it's not, we're not prescribing any lifestyle.
Latin said, de gustibus non disputandum est. Tastes are not judgeable. So if you like something, that's it. I respect that. No problem.
Exactly. And the thing is, it's
not disputable.
You have to work out how you live in it. Do you know what I mean? And so you guys are like us in that you've lived together for a while now, so you really know how you.
And we're lucky we've got the same taste.
How you
defer to Brian's taste because it's better than mine.
You have good taste.
Thanks, honey.
When you agree with me.
I feel sort of the same.
I just feel there hasn't been as much. Never seen the real us.
No, this is I think the problem is we've actually all become a bit too comfortable with each other.
Why is this a problem?
To the point where...
Are we in the picture? Toe.
Yes, we are. No, to the point where there is no filter at all.
Amelia.
Yeah.
How do you want it to finish?
Yeah. Oh no, also I have more chocolate cake. I found...
You found more?
It was huge in Wadi. Did you not see it? Yeah.
Oh.
We ate it in 6 persons. We brought like 3 big chunks in the boat, creating all the problem of the fridge. And there's still
some smoothie back to chocolate cake.
Yeah, it was delicious.
I feel like I am chocolate cake. Are you sure you still have it?
Well, I don't know. Unless it's the tarts, but the tarts are gone.
Oh, we also have a tart. We've got half a tart in the fridge.
I'm sure we can't eat that now.
Make something for tomorrow night. Tonight, Guido is taking you to a restaurant. So Sorry.
No, da Francesco.
Da Alessandro. Da Zebulon. Anyway, so yeah, no, but we're not saying restaurant names because we just don't want to reveal where we live.
Yeah.
But anyway, tonight.
Because of all of you crazy.
Especially you.
Thanks to all of my crazies.
We really love.
I'm gonna pee. Oh no, I might. No, I'll just finish up and then we'll pee. No. But anyway, we're going to a restaurant that Guido's been going to since he was a baby. Tonight.
Yeah.
No?
4.
Sì?
4 anni.
Oh, che cos'è?
Baby.
Ah, baby.
In
Bambino.
I think you're a bit bigger than that.
That was the size of his head.
Oh,
And yeah, so this is it now. We'll have a small, slender slice of chocolate cake, and then
That's small.
fasting for tonight. You have to prepare
yeah,
yourself.
we have to
There's
fast
more.
3 hours.
There's more cinghiale. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Actually,
Yes.
is this a topic we can discuss? Have you
What?
decided what you're doing with the placenta?
Oh no, I don't think we're talking about
Is that something not to talk about, Talia?
Are you gonna blitz it? And
No,
really
do know
good
that's
for
a
What
thing.
are the options? Because
Well,
So,
you're
no,
doing
the
the
first
after-
one, once you do the afterbirth, the first option is to plant it under a grapevine. And it apparently makes the grapes extra special.
Really?
Haven't you heard of this? The
No.
placenta, you can
I
either...
thought you
I mean,
better
Kylie,
to
you're from
freeze
Iron
the
Day,
cells
please.
because it's like the neutral cells that you could give to your child if he has to change something.
what?
I
Le
don't
cellule
know.
staminali.
Oh, for like stem
Stem cell.
stem
Oh,
cell.
okay.
That they are like,
What, you have to freeze it?
I don't know what to do with them, but
Yeah, we just
I hope we
keep
can.
it beside the vodka and the ice, and you know.
Because
Something I
that
prepared
cells
earlier.
that can be used to change any part of
Really?
the body if it's.
Did you learn this from Grey's Anatomy?
I know from that.
No, but there's apparently a whole thing about what you do with the placenta afterwards. You either
Really?
throw it away.
Yeah.
The second thing is to plant it under a grapevine or maybe any kind of fruit tree.
Third
A
thing
vineyard?
is doing like a grappa with it.
Come in.
No.
And the fourth, then they make it into
Like
a powder and they put it into capsules for like
eat. A digestion.
No. It's,
No, I don't want to eat your placenta.
No. It's not for you.
No,
It's not,
It's for you. It's for you, and it builds collagen.
I'll just throw it into ragu. You won't even taste it.
just like our children.
Yeah,
Something
exactly.
like the dog.
Yeah.
Milk down. I'm going to give birth in Florence, and I feel like the hospital is.
They have lip blues.
I wouldn't make it too complicated.
No, but I don't think they're very alternative because I did
Okay.
ask them. I was like, "Oh, could I take a bath?" And
be normal now.
is it now?
Yes.
Oh, it's such a trend to do something with
to what, plant your placenta?
Yes.
Something with
Really?
Yeah, we just asked for
Is that-
bucket with placenta.
No. It needs to be preserved somehow.
No, they put it into
That if you
something.
need to put it in.
In a liquid.
Yeah,
With
why
ice.
not? Okay, that's
Yeah.
easy. It's like vodka.
It's my favorite Italian word. It's not Italian.
Liglio. Yeah, I just taught them the word for esky, which is esky.
Yeah.
What else do you call it in America? You call it like an ice bucket.
Ice box.
Ice box.
Yeah.
Ice box.
Oh my gosh! Speaking of which, we went out to this tiny little village on the island where that's the night I was wearing your pajamas, and I've never laughed so much because we'd of course ordered wine with an ice bucket. At a certain point, we discovered that dipping our lovely linen serviettes into the ice bucket, and then I had mine, over my wrists. I think Gareth had his like on his neck. You had yours on your head because and then Brian.
On his partner.
Well, Guido said, it really,
It's the coglioni.
if you cool the testicles down, that the whole body gets refreshed.
And then I went to pay for the Il Conto, and they told me when I came back it looked like I'd wet my pants.
But you were like, chi se ne frega.
Yeah.
I don't care. What we know is we'll be talking about this trip, as uncomfortable it might have been in certain points.
Yeah, no, exactly.
No, this is really good. You find the laughter through the crisis, and you find the joy in everything. We're very good at us.
Yeah.
Too much wine, Guido. What are you doing to me? No, we're very good at finding that. And you know what? There were times when we thought our eyeballs were dry and going to explode like the pomodori in the garden.
Brian has a condition called health itch.
Don't call it.
It sounds horrible. No, but that's the thing. I mean, there's nothing worse than sunburn, and when you know that you're in for another 12-hour day under the sun.
It's not 12 hours. It's more like 18.
It was. And yet we didn't stop laughing.
Don't come to Italy in July or August.
I told you not.
I know, but you know what? This is what I'm saying. It's been the most beautiful time. I really, sincerely want to thank you.
May and September are perfect.
Yeah, you just wait.
Yeah.
You just wait to see us in May and April.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
And we've got quite a show prepared for May. We can't decide. Brian and I, for our joint birthday, we either want to do a Bollywood show or an Argentinian tango. You decide.
Entrambi.
Okay, so here's to that.
Cheers to that.
DiMaggio.
DiMaggio. And Fagiolino.
And Fagiolino. Yes. Mm.
Fare un frizz por un po'.
Can I stop freezing?
Bravi, I'm going to get the chocolate cake. Bravissimi.